You're now watching State TV Film.
Good afternoon. I'm here today. Can you introduce yourself, ma'am?
Hi, I'm Andrea Billings.
Okay. May I ask where were you born and raised?
I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Kirkwood to be exact.
Okay. What was it like growing up in Kirkwood?
For me, it was, I saw the hood side, but then I also saw the good side, because like my street was a dead end, so barely anybody was on it. But when I went to school in different places, you saw different atmospheres.
So where are you currently residing now?
I currently live in New York and New Jersey, so I'm in both sometimes.
In Atlanta, we have zones, and in New York, it's on bureaus. So which like specific for the bureaus?
So I have stayed in multiple boroughs. I've stayed in Canarsie, Brooklyn. I've stayed in Bushwick, Brooklyn. I've stayed in Washington Heights, which is like the Spanish area, uptown New York. I've stayed in Chelsea, which is Manhattan. And I've stayed in the Bronx. But I'm currently in East Orange, but I work in the city on a daily basis.
So out of all those places you just named, which is your favorite?
If I'm honest,
and why?
Why is my favorite? Okay, so honestly, I would say Chelsea, because I was right in Manhattan, like not too far from Penn Station, 34th Street, like all the big main area. So it was easy to get around. And I was like, I needed to do anything, see anything, go anywhere, anytime I wanted. Mm-hmm. If I wanted to catch a mega bus, which is like a little fake Greyhound, and go like to Philly or DC, I could catch it right there, like a couple of blocks from the house, buy the ticket online, and be out.
Okay. Nah, I understand. I'm a visionary, so I see everything in my head what you're saying. So my next question would be, so what brought you to New York?
I didn't want to live a life of what if. I was here in Georgia. I just came back from school. I had a degree as a paralegal, so I was interning for the City of Atlanta Solicitor's Office. So yeah, I'm fashion, but I'm not a dummy.
Okay.
And I was working for the YMCA at the time, and something happened to me, and I was just like, I'm gonna go fly for fashion design. They didn't want to give me a job at the solicitor's office. And I was like, well, I'm going to apply for fashion. I'm going to really do what I want to do. I did what my parents asked me to do.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay. And I started school here. And as I kept going, I felt like I was missing something. It was just like something was missing.
I'm a believer God put seeds in us. And I don't feel that by listening as you talk, the water went here in that seed. Yeah, okay. So
it was growing on the ground, but wasn't nothing wasn't no fruit.
Sprouting, it wasn't sprouting.
Yeah, wasn't no fruit on the tree.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So how was your journey from Atlanta to New York?
Yeah. So if anybody knows Steve Harvey's motivational, so I was reading the book Jump at the time. And he was just talking about like how you gotta take a leap of faith and just do it. Okay. So I had gotten into a predicament where my job forced me into resignation.
Okay.
They wanted me to choose between school and work, and me working with kids that were teenagers that stayed in the neighborhood that I grew up in. I'm the type of purpose. I practice what I preach.
Okay.
So if I'm teaching you about going to school, I'm not. Why should I give up on mine? Okay. It was a hard decision, so I was like, God, if I ain't got no job by the time the summer hit of 2015, then I'm gonna take this one-way bus ticket to New York and see what happens. So that's what happened. I done had a job by the time frame.
So pause, you said a one-way, so you know it went no turning back.
I know I ain't coming back.
Okay.
Not that day.
Okay. No, I respect that. I respect that. Okay.
So I had tried, I had everything kind of set up. I had like a little intern that had me a place to stay, and another little small intern had another, just to give me some extra money. And I kind of told my parents, I lied. I was like, yeah, I'm going just for the summer, and I'm going to see how I go. So I got there, and all hell broke loose. Everybody stopped calling. I became homeless immediately that day.
Wow.
But I called my sister. I was like, sis, what should I do? She said survival mode kick in. And it was like, okay. I was like, God, you say I'm supposed to be here. Let's make this work. I walked around, so probably like 12 a.m., calling people, trying to figure out people we know up here. Went and found the food stamp office. Right before I was finna go sleep in the shelter, somebody called her and was like, well, they sister up here. They're like, you can come stay the night, but they gotta leave in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So my first year and a half, I moved 6 times.
Wow. You hear that, guys? That's great discipline and determination she has. So with that being said, was fashion always a dream of yours?
Nah, I was groomed to be combed to be a lawyer.
Okay.
I was taking LSATs by like 10th grade. I had law dictionaries and digests in my closet at home. My mom used to be a nanny and the lady was a lawyer.
Okay.
So I had immediate access to learn that stuff prior to. And in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna be an entertainment lawyer. Like I was ready for it. Took my little fighter spirit, and people thought I was mean, but I was always analyzing.
You feel that background of being molded into being like a lawyer? What traits from that background help you in the fashion industry?
Well, being that my other side of my brain is creative. My dad is a musician.
Okay.
So I always heard music in the house. I feel like I get the lawyer part is the analytical. So when you think about like the business and pattern making, you got to know like it's the puzzle piece. So
Okay.
I'm AKA known as the puzzle maker. Like I look at stuff and get to break it down in my head. Like, oh yeah, that. So you need that piece. To make that. Like when I go into stores now. So I feel like being a lawyer made me analytical. Like I can analyze things quickly. And then with the creative, I can just do whatever. Like I can float. So I'm currently working with a brand called Centric Brands, and I work with the brand Izod. I am a production coordinator assistant. That's the ugliest. A lot of people see the glamorous side of fashion. I'm on the back end, which is the product development. So I work with design, our vendors, our technical designers, our sales and merchandisers. So we take, once it's become a concept, we take it all the way through the life cycle of hitting the store. So sampling and fitting it. And then on the side, I am an entrepreneur with my personal brand. And then lately, I have been collabing with somebody I've kind of known all my life but didn't know, with his brand Shaq, and kind of just we're marrying the two up together.
What is the name of your brand?
My name of my brand is Messiah Misfits.
Okay. What made you pick that name?
Well, Messiah, if you look in the dictionary, it means the chosen one.
That's correct.
Or the deliverer that's been promised. And then when you think of Messiah, misfits, you have an outcast, someone that's kind of considered as an outlaw. And just the different people that's in the Bible that we hear the story the most about, they were all outcasts.
Mm-hmm.
You got Rahab, that was a hoe. You got Moses, he stuttered a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You got David, he was cool, but he had women problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like the 12 disciples, you got Paul out here killing Christians, and then he got flipped over into being a Christian.
Yeah.
So it's like God uses the most unlikely things that we think are ashamed of, and he uses those the most. Those are things that people come remembering about. It's those.
He brings the best
Out of that, like
out
he
of-
make that past work for you in the present. Like every step that you have done or did, it leads up to what you're going to do on the bigger end.
I'm a math nerd, so I always tell people in math, a positive times a positive equal positive, and a negative times a negative equals a positive as well. So both situations, God brings the best and the positive out of every situation.
Yeah.
So I respect it, and I understand. So my next question is going to be, where do you get your inspiration from?
I would definitely say my inspiration of just trying to survive. And people think trying to survive is like financial. No, I'm trying to survive mentally, trying to survive emotionally, trying to survive spiritually, and knowing that I'm created for more. So it's just like when I look at something, I try to look at the details. When I see a number, what does that number mean? How can I integrate that shape into it? And also being that I am a curvy girl, this fashion industry don't like us much. Okay. So it's like taking those no's and making them a yes to make me fit where I'm not supposed to be fitted. I'm making my own seat at the table.
Go back what you were just talking about. The question before, you just in your head, somebody could be an outsider, just for example, make you feel bad, but God take that and now look, you design it for all the people who feel you be the platform for others. Like you take something from your past that could have made you feel down or low, and God made you go high and lift up others along that same journey. So that's dope. So in New York, it's a lot of networking going on up there. Who or what would you say was the biggest leap of faith to open the doors to where you are now?
I would say, because I've had so many leaps. But I definitely would say, how can I put it? Me not giving up on getting into school. So I applied for school at FIT, which is the Fashion Institute of Technology. And I got rejected. But at that time, I had got the opportunity to work at the Met Museum off of a Craigslist ad.
Wow.
It didn't say what it was, but I was like, I'm gonna apply for it.
Okay.
And went straight through, no interview. My first day was orientation. But it was my boss there that kind of like, but don't give up, reapply, connected me with somebody else that worked there that went into the school. And me persevering and reapplying and doing it different, I ended up graduating the class of 2020. So
congratulations.
Thank you. So I would definitely say his name is Mr. Feliciano. But yeah, I definitely say that he still pushes me. If I go to the museum today, he said I always got a spot if I ever need a job. And I think he understands from one creator to another that it's not easy.
So, as you stated earlier, you were born in Atlanta and now currently residing in New York. What are the biggest difference from Atlanta and New York, living-wise and fashion-wise? It's a two-part question.
Okay, so living-wise, definitely you're not getting what you pay for. You might be, they rent rooms. I ain't never heard of renting no rooms. You might be paying for an apartment or a studio like $1,400, and it's literally a box, maybe like 400 or 500 feet.
Wow.
The people are, being from the South, we are friendly. We can not like you and still be cordial to you.
Okay.
With them, it's like mean mug from the day they meet you to the day, even if they like you, you sometimes get a mean mug. And it's fast paced. Like your days seem like long days, even longer nights. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're doing a regular 9 to 5, and you coming home to do a 6 to 12 or 6 to 2, because you gotta still pushing the time for your business. And it's like Sunday through Saturday. There's no time out in that fight. Like you got to constantly keep
24/7.
Somebody told me there's no times out in this faith fight. So if you believing in faith for something, you ain't getting no time out. Even while you getting punched, you still getting your butt up and getting what you got to do. Whereas here in the South, like you can kind of take the scene in, kind of relax and rev a little bit. Not saying there's not a hustle. There's always a hustle in the city, but you kind of can revel in it. In New York, you got to be like, okay, what's the next thing? Like, you got to be 2 steps ahead of the next person. And if you're a person of color, you got to be at least 10 times steps than your next counterparts.
Wow. What you say?
You out here in purpose.
Oh, okay. Wow. So this guy behind the camera is cool with the edits. Where did that bag come from, and what is that bag?
So this is the bag of purpose.
Okay.
This is one of the latest, like the last drops I did right before the end of the year.
Okay.
And it came about, I was out working out and this guy had a gym bag that said emotional. I'm like, emotional? And I was like, why you want to walk around with a bag that's like emotional? I was like, emotional baggage. Like, why you walking around with a bag with emotional baggage? And I was like, something in my head clicked, like, what if people walked around with a bag that said like purpose, vision, refresh? Like, how would your day go by? Like, what would you put in your bag? What would you, like, how would you do things differently? Because you'll be like, okay, I'm walking with this bag. I'm walking in purpose. Like, everything I'm putting here, everything I'm doing is to build something else. So that's really where the whole idea came from.
And that's what life about, purpose.
Yeah, purpose chasing, not paper chasing.
Yeah, purpose chasing. Say that again, get out that rat race.
I mean,
purpose chasing.
My pastor back the time say purpose chasing. We out here purpose chasers. We ain't paper chasing. Because when you chase your purpose, the paper will come.
And me being observant, it's on your shirt as well.
It is
you
on
made,
the shirt.
You made that?
Me and my homie
Okay.
Shaq collab. We had to do a pop-up shop.
I think I know that guy.
Yeah, we didn't have nothing. We was like, what do we have in the house to do this pop-up shop?
Cool.
And I was at work and something came, ransom note. I was like, ransom note? And I was like, and I said, look it up. I'm gonna go back to work. By the time I got home, he was like, well, what if we take all this scrap fabric and cut out the word purpose and other words like fearless and faith, and we put them on shirts. So everybody's shirt is different. Like, even though it say the same word, your walk is different.
Yeah.
Like, everything is, and this wasn't no vinyl. So this was a 3-day process. We was up every day to probably like 2 a.m. one night to 3 a.m. Like,
again, it's a process. People make things look easy, but when they passionate about it, times fly. Because sometimes I get caught up in edits, and I might start at this time and look up like, I ain't what time has gone. So when people tell you a price, respect people prices, because a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into the effort. And with that being said, what was the biggest platform where your work has been seen?
So I had the opportunity, if anybody know the Met Gala, when we were working at the Met Museum, every year they do an employee art show.
Okay.
So as an employee of the time frame I was working there, I was able to put a dress that I designed in the employee art show. So I can officially say that my outfit was shown in the Met Museum, where the Met Gala is housed.
That is so, I'm not just saying it, so cool. So the next question would be, who would you want to see wearing your work?
I want my stuff to be a movement.
Wow, that's deep.
I don't, you know, a celebrity can wear it, a doctor can wear it, a preacher can wear it, a homeless person can wear it. Hopefully we can help the homeless person get some help. But I want it to be a movement that's wearing it, not just one specific person, because everything I do has some type of uplifting message.
It's great.
So, I mean, but one person I really would, and that's my girl Rihanna. I don't care what nobody says. Riri swagged up all the way.
Yeah.
You know, swagged up all the way. Love her from, if I could meet her, just, you know, we'll be here, I think.
Yeah. Riri, we coming for you. So, I'm loving this interview. I'm loving your spirit. I'm loving the stories, because I keep saying I'm a visionary. I can see everything you're talking about. So, for the viewers watching, could you tell them how they can contact you, and any collabs, any word, if they want to purchase anything? The floor is open now.
So, I do have a website, and it's Messiah Misfits, and Misfits is spelled with Z's. So where you would have the S, it's MIZFITZ, Misfits, not with the S. .com, and then it's also Instagram is Messiah_Misfits. Also, we'll be doing local pop-up shops and other things. But if you really want something, that's the main way of reaching me.
I'm a positive person. I attract positive energy. I dish out positive energy. So could you please, right now, dish out some positive energy to all the viewers watching right now?
So my thing would be, it's never too late to start. And failing is just life lessons learned. So if you do feel like you failed or you tried it one time, try it again. The first time you learned the lesson. And just trust the process. Like, when you uncomfortable, that's the part you know you're doing something right. If it's too comfortable, then you ain't doing it right. If you just gotta trust the process, it's never too late, and failure is only life lessons.
Okay, I like that. I listen well. I'm taking that to heart. And I just want to close out saying thanks for taking the time out to sit with me, learning more about your brand, your journey. And again, this is a positive channel for all entrepreneurs to network, collab with each other. And like she just said, you have to start somewhere. And I'm going to quote a scripture. God said, have the faith of a mustard seed. It starts small and then it sprout out largely. And that's what we're doing. And we're finna close this out. And can you hold your bag up one more time?
We're going to walk out in purpose.
Purpose. Y'all have purpose. Chase that purpose, y'all.
The paper are cool.
Oh, y'all saw my fingers? Anyway, I'm not going to cut that. Purpose. And you have a blessed, wonderful day. And we out. Stick TV Film. Check it out.
Stick.
Yes.
You're now watching Stick TV Film.